the amazing world of ghosts.
Curious acolytes, welcome to Ghost Stories. It is time to dive deep into the arcane anthems of our cutthroat clergy, Bloodbath edition. You may think Elizabeth had emerged from Opus Eponymus in 2010, but you would be wrong. The original release was earlier that year on a demo and as a single on Iron Pegasus Records, before Ghost were picked up by larger record labels. Elizabeth refers, as many of you know, to the Countess BATHORY, the most prolific female serial killer of all time. She lived in the 1500s and 1600s when England, France and Italy were approaching the Enlightenment era, but most of Europe was still rather medieval. That is a time period I have described somewhat in my popular video for Stand By Him, so you can watch that to learn about the zeitgeist of the time. Musically, this song reminds me most of death and black metal of any Ghost song. The main riff, which pendulates between many minor keys in a sinister way, could easily have come from the discography of Death. I mean the band Chuck Schuldiner and the Deaths. And then the chorus has such a beautiful contrast to that. It is very melodic and has a lot of motion, due to relying on fourths and fifths, much like medieval and baroque music does, except with guitars and drums and synthesizers instead of lutes and harpsichords and clavichords. Finally, the use of a key change in the final chorus seems like the first hint that Ghost would have a pop influence to them, especially as for most people, or for many people, this single was the first Ghost song they ever heard. Lyrically, this pseudo-mythical story of Elizabeth Bathory is unfurled. In Hungary, in the 15th century, it is an icy winter. Back in her youth, Bathory was a beautiful young lady, but now she is old and bitter and evil. Her heart is black and cold like the climate. In the chorus, there is a reference to a chasm where the soul used to be. Perhaps this is a poetic way of saying that Bathory had killed her victim and taken their life. Well, the legend says that she bathed in the blood of pleasant peasant girls in order to maintain her youth, and this is reflected in the line, "You're still alive, Elizabeth." And of course, the line about bathing in fresh virginal blood, obviously. However, she went too far when she killed a noble woman, and the authorities locked her in her castle forevermore. As she was a noble woman, she would not have been executed like a peasant would have been. Papa Emeritus chimes in during the bridge to say that, due to her evil, she is worthy of the ministry. Overall, much like the witch of Stand By Him, there is a lot of recruitment for the Ghost ministry going on during Opus Eponymus, from the very first song Conclavi con Dio, when he says, "Our congregation seeks infernal souls." During this section I wish to invoke history. Much of what is said about Bathory, such as she drained the blood of 600 virgin peasants, may be something of a myth. Many historians believe she was innocent and was framed for these crimes in order that rival nobles could steal her land and lock her in the castle. However, there are many legitimate accusations that she tortured her own servants. At first she was merely punishing them for mistakes, but Bathory was known to be a sadist. Legend has it she witnessed a peasant being executed very cruelly as a child and exploded into fits of laughter. At some point after her husband died, a local witch named Darvolia moved into the castle and helped to corrupt Bathory's morality even further. It seems quite likely that Bathory was a sadist. She did enjoy torturing people, burning their skin, chaining them naked into freezing baths, and murdering them, leaving their bodies buried about the castle. Many of her former servants claimed that this was true, and they were executed for their part in it. So, did she bathe in the blood of peasants to keep her raging at bay? Did she go too far and begin killing noble women? Was she a scapegoat for political annexation of her land? History can never give us answers, only more questions. If you feel like aging is catching up to you, why not try an alternative method, like a skin cream, or changing your diet, or living an active lifestyle? Have a good day, everybody. You know what I have to say now. Subscribe and like and comment. Give me your ideas as always. Acolytes, until next time.